Yo guys, what is up? Max in our first Descendant video, and today we're going over my weapon guide for the Excava. We're going to be talking about the fastest way to get it ranked up to 4 out of 4. We're going to be going over its unique ability, how to make a budget build, an expanded build, and at the end of the video is kind of like a 5-minute angry rant, just kind of talking about this weapon and why I think the devs really need to take a look at it and improve this thing. I hope you guys enjoy the full breakdown. Let's get right into it. So the very first thing about the Excava is it is the Battle Pass weapon. You get 3 for free while just using the Battle Pass. And if you buy the Battle Pass, you get 2. So in order to like fully max it as a like 4 out of 4 weapon, you do need to buy the Battle Pass, but you get 3 of them from just leveling up the Battle Pass for free. Now, the Battle Pass is unbelievably easy to level this season. The season's been out for like 2-3 days. I'm already level 97. So the fastest way to level up your Battle Pass right now is simply doing the season challenges. I did all of week 8, which, you know, a lot of these give you like 3,000 experience. Not a lot. If you knock out, basically, I've got to level 97 just doing 4 of these season challenges. These are giving like 100,000 experience, clearing 300 out of 300 missions, clearing 200 hard missions. These like overlap, so you can just knock out both of these. And then I did the like 60 intercept void boss battles and a season 1 like campaign stuff. But right now, it might sound like 300 missions is a lot. If you just do void reactors, the boss spawns and you can kill the boss and reset them. They take like 5 to 8 seconds, and you can just do them over and over and over again. That'll count for both of these things. In previous seasons, you had to spend void fragments to open a void reactor and spawn the boss. Now it only takes your void fragments if you're actually opening relics. So you can just not open relics, spawn boss, and kill them. That's really fast. Doing void fragments is fast. And the other thing that I ran to get a bunch of mission completions is just the Echo Swamp Environment Contamination Zone. I do this in like 30 seconds with my bunny. It's a bunch of gold, Kuiper, and it's dropping Glay reactors this week. So doing those will get your Excava fully leveled or your Battle Pass fully leveled very quickly. Now I get to talk about the Excava. The unique ability on it reads, hitting an enemy grants voltage charge. When voltage charge gets to max stacks, it changes to the unique effect Energy Grenade. While Energy Grenade is active, you fire an Energy Grenade when shooting while aiming, which does increased damage based on the number of stacks. Hitting an enemy with the Energy Grenade inflicts voltage accumulation. So as you get ranks of this thing, you're going to reduce the decrease like hipfire accuracy and aim shot accuracy. So it's just base values, which is very nice because to use this weapon properly, you actually do have to hipfire it. When you level it up and its unique ability, the max stacks that you need to hit in order to get a voltage charge also decreases. I believe it's 36 stacks, which is like the exact size of its magazine at base. And then once you level this thing up, it drops down to 28 stacks to get an Energy Grenade. Your Energy Grenade, while you're building it up, you can have a max of 3, and you're getting firearm critical hit rate and crit per stack. So you get 15% critical hit rate. This is just like base crit. It is not multiplicative. It's just additive. So it's actually pretty nice. The weapon has horrible base crit chance, but it actually does get some crit if you're holding onto the grenades. And then you have the while aiming, you're going to, if you have voltage charges, you aim down sights and you shoot, you will do the like grenades do 180% of your firearm attack damage. And if you have multiple stacks, you're able to get like a multiplier on them. And then lastly, when you actually do hit an enemy with a grenade, you apply voltage accumulation, which just decreases their electric resistance to like 7.5%, which is not a lot, unfortunately, but that is the unique ability. For the best characters to use with the Excava, my recommendations are Haley, Enzo, Valby, and Bunny. With Haley, she can actually get the Excava to 100% crit rate, which is pretty insane, and you can get a decent crit damage multiplier on it. Part of the gun's mechanics is if you are using it and get 3 stacks of grenades, you get flat crit hit rate, which Haley is able to boost up. So that's why she's able to get it to 100% crit rate. You just need to have her 3 active and 3 grenades. So that's pretty neat. The other Descendants that can work pretty well with this thing are Valby, as I mentioned, Valby has the laundry debuff, which makes enemies take more or decreases their electric resistance. You can pair that with the Excava to further increase its electric resistance. Now, you might think, oh, you could put like an electric mod on this thing and that would be great. Unfortunately, unlike Greg's Reversed Fate, this weapon's grenades do not get extra damage from elemental mods. So putting an elemental mod on it is not all that good, unfortunately, which is a bit of a bummer. The other characters you could use it on is Bunny. Obviously, Bunny does electric damage. You could debuff for it. However, in the time that it takes to shoot basically 3 magazines of this thing to get a 7.5% debuff is just not worth, when you could just literally just run around on Bunny and the things would be dead much faster than you trying to stack up this full debuff. And the other character is Enzo, just because Enzo gives you supply firearm enhancer, which can give you extra crit chance on the weapon, which you can use to make it deal more damage. Now let's talk about weapon builds. So just at base, the Excava has a 3% firearm critical hit rate with a 1.2x crit damage multiplier, which is awful. It's got a 1.4x weak point damage increase, which is also not very good. It's got base damage of 14k, which is significantly less than, like, for example, the Eternal Willpower, which I think is like 22,000 base firearm attack. So it's just not even got good base damage, even though it's got bad stats, which, you know, makes this thing pretty underwhelming. It's got low attribute status effect trigger rate, so it's not even going to proc electricity very often. And it's got pretty mid fire rate for an assault rifle. Overall, its base stats just straight up are not very good. Now for weapon mods, this is kind of like the base setup that I would go. You want to scale, obviously, your base damage, so action and reaction and rifle reinforcement are really good. When you have the weapon not at like a 4 out of 4, you're going to want to use mag size, because you have to shoot 36 bullets to get a grenade, and you have 36 in the mag, so if you like miss any bullets, then you have to reload in order to get a grenade. As soon as you get it to rank 4 out of 4 through the battle pass, you no longer need extra mag size. You can go for a reload mod, so that you can shoot your bullets, because you have 36 in the mag. You'll need 28 to get a grenade. And I use reload focus with concentration priority, because concentration priority has a negative reload time modifier, and you realistically want to be reloading this thing as fast as possible so that you don't lose your stacks. We're going to also be using better insight for more crit rate, and fire rate up for more fire rate. The faster we're firing, the more grenades that we're going to be getting out of this thing. Showing on screen is how I would build the Excava if I was fully catalyzing it. On this like build website, you can like create build planners. They don't have the Excava in the build planner yet, so it's displaying the Eternal Willpower. But the scaling on the Excava and the things that will actually increase its grenade damage are pretty limited. So, for example, adding an element to the weapon does not increase its grenade damage. Adding a priority mod, like any of the elemental priority mods, do not increase the damage of the grenade, like if you add an electric priority. And the other thing that's broken on the weapon right now is weak point. One, the grenades cannot weak point. So if you shoot the grenade at a boss's head, they do not deal any increased damage to weak points. And for some reason, the grenades also break on weak points. So if you have like a 7 times crit multiplier and you shoot the grenades at a head, they won't get that crit multiplier at all. So with this gun, you don't want to be aiming at heads at all, really. So we're not building any weak point. The biggest things that actually make the grenade deal more damage is crit damage. The grenades do benefit from your crit multiplier, and they also benefit from things that increase your base firearm attack. So obviously, like rifle reinforcement, action, and reaction are huge for increasing your grenade damage. Mental focus is also a pretty large magazine grenade damage increase. With this, you can get your grenades hitting close to like 1 million damage. And you're gonna want to for the other mods, we went for concentrate support ammo and expand weapon charge. This allows you to get 64 rounds in the mag, which allows you to get 2 grenades without reloading, and then you just drain the magazine and shoot the grenades, and then you'll get your full mental focus buff. The mental focus firearm attack does apply to the grenades. So if you shoot the grenades when you're low mag, like at 5 magazine, because they do consume an amount of ammo, that will make the grenades hit the hardest. And right now, like with just kind of like a budget setup, we're seeing like 900,000 damage on the grenades, which is pretty cool. Now, my biggest issue with this gun is simply that, like, it seems like it would be a really cool grenadier gun where you could, you know, shoot a bunch, charge up these grenades, and then shoot the grenades, and they would do a bunch of damage. That's just not really the case, and that is because of the just base damage that the grenades get. At a 4/4 Excava, your grenades get 180% of your firearm attack, meaning if you just hold down the magazine and shoot one grenade, if you only get one stack and shoot, that grenade is going to deal less damage than if you just shot the gun twice. So it's a whole lot less effort. You're just holding down the trigger and shooting the grenades. And one grenade is less damage than 2 bullets, which is really dumb in my opinion. You'd want the grenades hitting really hard. If we stack up 3 grenades, then the grenades get the 180% times their 3. So let's say our base damage is 100, we're getting 80. That would do like 540% total. If we just shoot the gun 6 times, if we literally just hold down the trigger and shoot 6 times, we're going to deal more damage than if we shot 3 grenades at max stacks. And the reason that's stupid is the grenades cost 5 ammo to shoot. So like economically, like there's not really much reason to even shoot the grenades because they're really not giving you much more damage increase than if you were just firing the gun. So one strategy to use with this gun, if you are just like holding it down, so for example, right now we've got, if we check with this weapon, we've got right now 4.7% crit chance. I'm not going to use Haley's abilities here, but if we don't use Haley's abilities and just shoot these enemies, as we build up stacks on the gun, by passively just holding grenades, you're going to be getting stacking crit chance. So we were at 4% before. Now we've got that extra flat crit chance. Now we're at 25%. So if I shoot those grenades, not only are they not really doing much damage, they're doing basically as much damage as I would just shooting the gun, but as soon as they release, that 25% now goes back down to 4%. So now I've actively nuked the possible damage of the gun just to shoot at grenades. And you could say, oh, the grenades are good because they debuff. It's like a 7.5% electric resistance debuff, which is in the grand scheme of things like absolutely nothing. And so I think the devs really need to take a look at this gun and work on not only its mechanism, but also the damage. There's no reason that shooting the grenades should actively make the gun worse, because one, you're not getting the damage from them to pay out for it, but also you are losing all of your crit chance when you fire the grenades. I think a few changes that the devs could make to this is, one, when you fire the grenades, you get a persistent crit buff, like it lasts for a while. Maybe you get 10 seconds past the grenade stacks when you use them. That way you're not actively nuking the damage of this weapon, which, by the way, at base just isn't very good anyways. There's so many other better options. So if you could keep the crit buff, that would be a big quality of life. And I think they also just need to make the unique ability hit for more. There's no reason that me hip firing using this weapon, building around it, should fire a grenade that is dealing less damage than just 2 bullets. That doesn't make sense to me. And this weapon is bugged on weak points, where all of your build, if the grenade flies and hits a weak point, gets completely nullified because the grenades cannot crit on weak points. They deal like the crit, they will show up as orange, but they don't actually get any of your crit damage increases. And right now, for being a battle pass weapon, I'm going to be a little bit harsher on this weapon than I would be for a normal thing, because some people will spend money to get this thing. I think that the devs really need to take a look at it and improve its passive and its viability, because right now it is not a very good weapon, and we are very starved for good assault rifles. I was really hoping that this was going to be a good assault rifle, because right now the Eternal Willpower, the purple one, is still the best purple assault rifle, or best assault rifle in the game. And while this thing is very cool and it looks very neat, it just simply doesn't get the job done where it needs to get the job done. And I think the idea and the design of this weapon is really cool. And I think it would be awesome to have this like grenade weapon, but right now I really wish it was doing more. I wish the grenades were doing a bit of a more AoE. The voltage accumulation I wish had a better effect. It doesn't technically even do like electric damage. It's just an electric debuff, and then putting an electric mod on the weapon, I'll debuff for the weapon. The grenades don't even benefit from having an electric mod. There's so many like synergies that are just not clicking on this thing. And so that's the video. That's the review. That is the rant. If you want to invest into this thing, you totally can. Hopefully this video gave you the tools and the idea for how to scale its damage and use it. But right now, if you ask me if you should invest in this thing, I would tell you no. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Peace.